I'm practicing something today called The Law of Giving. So I just finished reading Deepak Chopra's book, The Seven Laws of Spiritual Success. It's a good book. And he mentions in The Law of Giving that if you want abundance in your life, you have to give. A lot of people just want, right? We live in a super consumerist era of human existence, and I'm guilty of this too, no shame. But it made me think, like, do I give as much as I want? you know and I'd like to think I'm a pretty giving person, but today in particular I woke up and I wanted to practice this law. So those days when you wake up and you're like, yeah, I don't know, today's gonna be the best day. Those days? That was today for me. And I decided that I'm going to practice the law of giving because, there's something that I've been wanting to do, and I'll tell you that in a second. And what day better than today to do it when I'm feeling all sorts of blah? And so I got out of the house, I put on this cute outfit. I think it's cute. And I decided to come to this gazebo. I love this gazebo. You've seen it before in my content. And I decided that after this, I'm going to go to one of those like clothing drop-off locations, and I'm going to donate some clothes that I have put away for the last couple of weeks to donate. And that is how I'm practicing law of giving. So, if you have clothes that need to, be donated in good condition, because if you wouldn't wear it, I saw this one girl talk about how if you wouldn't wear it, don't donate it. But if it's in good condition, I think you should consider donating it. And that is how I am practicing the law of giving today. And I thought, why not bring it to you? Maybe you want to practice the law of giving as well. So that's number one that I wanted to share with you. If you're trying to cultivate abundance into your life, think about, are you giving as much as you want to be receiving? And if not, why not change that today? Okay? The second thing I want to share with you is, did you know there is a part in our brain called the RAS? I think it's the reticular activating system. And basically what that is, it's like a hairnet, or in the words of this neuroscientist that I was listening to, it's a deletion service. So basically, because your brain has 60K thoughts a day, it's going to be more likely to focus on the repetitive thoughts. Now, those repetitive thoughts are an accumulation of the actions you're taking, the feelings you're having, and the experiences you're cultivating. And so that's going to give you that like 45,000-ish repetitive thoughts a day. If you want to change those thoughts, or those thoughts are not serving you, I want you to consider, where is your attention going? What is your behavior? How is your self-talk? Because the RAS is going to let things in. Mel Robbins, I was listening to her podcast, and she refers to this as like a bouncer at the club. Um, I know a lot of you may not be going to clubs now. I don't know. I went to high school nights. Remember Rum Jungle? If you're from Edmonton, you remember Rum Jungle. Anyways, so there was a bouncer outside, right? And not everybody gets in, whether it's due to capacity reasons or guest list reasons, whatever. So that RAS part of your brain, Mel Robbins refers to it as the bouncer, and I think that's brilliant. So if the bouncer in your brain is not letting everything in, it's a good place to check in of what is coming in. And that is, again, going to be an accumulation of your thoughts, your actions, your feelings on a daily basis. So if you're trying to improve your life, this is why we always say in mental health work, it takes little baby steps rather than big, humongous steps. So today, I left the house with the intention of giving, and I'm going to give. And I'll try to take content so you see what I mean by these drop clothing boxes, because I didn't know they existed till just like a year and a half ago. And they just make life really easy because they're just there. You don't have to deal with anybody if you like, might have social anxiety or anxiety. You don't want to talk to anybody. You just can drop it off, but make sure it's in good condition. But that's how I'm practicing the law of giving today. So I thought maybe that would resonate with somebody. If you're not where you want to be in life and you want to attract abundance, think about, are you giving? And if not, could you change that? And what are you letting into your RAS? Okay. Also, it's raining, so I want to get you some ASMR. Okay? Okay, bye.